Hello, and welcome back to Reality Check with the Porsha Principles, where we break down and help build up relationships that are happening on reality TV. I am Porsha Jones, author of the Porsha Principles, a practical guide to creating and sustaining your lifelong honeymoon. And this is Michael Wilkinson, my co-author of the Porsha Principles, and most importantly, the man whom I'm living my lifelong honeymoon with.
So let's talk about Love and Marriage DC, episode 2 and 3, where our primary focus is on the vegan dinner, where Monique and Chris have yet another breakdown with a theme very similar to what we saw in episode 1. So, okay, Porsha, let's go ahead and break it down the scene.
So Monique is talking about her second bout with COVID at the dinner table with their friends and makes the statement about Chris, he wasn't feeding me and left me upstairs by myself.
Of course, Chris reacts in a very defensive way because he feels she has thrown him under the bus in front of their friends, mischaracterizing him in the situation and diminishing his efforts completely.
She interrupts him. He then hushes her, and now she is offended too and says, "You're literally about to ruin this dinner."
Of course, she's completely unaware that she had already ignited the fire.
So in episode 3, she brings the hush back up, and Chris defends and minimizes by saying, "At least I didn't say shut up." The conversation gets dropped and left unresolved, their typical pattern in their preparation to leave for Africa.
So here's our reality check and how the Porsha Principles can help build up Chris and Monique in situations like these.
So in the previous video, I mentioned Porsha Principles 3, lift your partner every day, and how critical it is for partners to feel seen, loved, and worthy of love, to feel emotionally safe and connected to one another. Monique and Chris have different primary love languages, and most couples do. Chris's primary love language seems to be words of affirmation, and Monique's primary love language, acts of service. But neither seems to understand the importance of loving their partner in the primary way that their partner wants to be loved in order to have the most fulfilling relationship that they want. Right. So let's first talk to Monique about how this principle could help her. Recognize that your husband's love language is words of affirmation. What happens when you criticize him, especially in front of others, like you did with his personal trainer and at the vegan dinner? Your words can be emotionally damaging to him. It's like pouring poison into his love pool, perhaps more damaging than you could ever know because you don't share that same primary love language. If you want your relationship to last another 10 years, I encourage you to practice this principle by giving Chris words of affirmation daily.
And that's important, the daily. That's the thing that's
It's
important.
an everyday lifting up your partner that's contributing to the love pool that you want to stay in abundance and overflowing.
So how should she do it?
So let him know the positive traits you see in him. Let him know what you appreciate about him. Let him know that he is your hero and you are glad he is in your life. Let's turn to Chris now. So Chris, you've got to recognize your wife's love language is acts of service. Your acts of service tell her that she is loved and she can count on you to have her back. So while you see yourself as a good man that is doing the things that many husbands aren't doing, those things aren't what's most important to Monique. Honoring your commitments and following through on your word is huge for her. When you don't follow through for her, it is emotionally damaging. Your inaction says she can't rely on you. When you sweep it under the rug, it is still there for her. Don't assume your actions should satisfy her. At least weekly, ask her, what can I do to make you feel more loved by me right now?
I love that. And yes, those are important strategies for both of them.
Absolutely.
Well, so that's it for this reality check. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, here are 3 steps you can take. Check out our website, PorshaPrinciples.com, where you can sign up for our monthly webinar series. Porsha does a great job each month focusing on one of the principles. Usually it's the last Thursday of each month. You can also purchase our book on Amazon, The Porsha Principles. And be sure to click below to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube.
And as always, the Porsha Principles will work if you work it.